أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. Madam Chair, Commissioners, Lead Counsel, viewers and listeners, members of the press, good morning and welcome back to our daily proceedings of this Commission of Inquiry into local government councils and related matters. For our next item on our today's agenda, I have the honor to yield the floor to Madam Chair. Madam Chair, over to you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I will call on Honorable Sila to lead us in Muslim prayers and Honorable Joyner to lead us in Christian prayers. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghairil maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Fallahu khairul ibsan wa huwal arhamur rahim. Fallahu khairul ibsan wa huwal arhamur rahim. Fallahu khairul ibsan wa huwal arhamur rahim. Nasr minallahi wa fatun kharibun wa bashiril mu'minin. Nasr minallahi wa fatun kharibun wa bashiril mu'minin. Nasr minallahi wa fatun kharibun wa bashiril mu'minin. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Bi hurmati Allahumma salli ala sayyidina Muhammadin il-Fatihi lima ughliqa wal khatimi lima sabaqa an-nasir haqq bil haqqi wal hadi ila siratikal mustaqim wa ala alihi haqqa qadri wa midari azim. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun alal mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Amin.
In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. King of glory, thou Lamb of Calvary, we ascribe honor, glory, and praise for waking us up to witness yet another wonderful day in life and not in eternity. We appreciate your love, care, and tender mercies bestowed on us. We surrender ourselves to you this day. Enable us to tap from the day's blessings, guide our steps as we journey on. Shield us from all harm and danger. Pour down your blessings upon us, and may your divine grace continue to abide with us this day, henceforth, and even forevermore. Amen.
Good morning, Mr. Witness. You may kindly take your seat. Mr. Witness, for continuation of your testimony before this Commission of Inquiry into local government councils and related matters, may I remind you that you are still under oath before I hand you over to Madam Chair. Thank you. Madam Chair, I hand over the witness to you.
Good morning, Mr. Barry.
Good morning, Ma.
You are welcome.
Thank you.
Council, can you proceed?
Good morning, Honorable Commissioners. Good morning, Chairperson, and everyone present. Mr. Barry, how are you?
I'm fine, Lead Counsel.
Do you have the documents we asked you to bring today?
Yes. I come.
Tell us what documents you have with you currently, and the ones that are outstanding.
The lodgement log, For
the lodgement
log for the collectors.
log.
Yes, weekly submission.
Okay.
And also the absentees, the defaulters who don't come for submissions, we extract them
The defaulters who don't come for submission
weekly.
weekly.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Those ones are with me, and the
What else do you have?
and the last system audit report 2022 to 2023.
Okay. And what else again?
Yes, these are the ones I have at the moment. The letter from the Directorate of Internal Audit pertaining to Aliu Sane's issue.
Yes.
Yes, I will go into our CEO's office to make findings of those documents.
Please speak into the microphone.
I said the letter from the Directorate of Internal Audit.
Yes.
Pertaining to Aliu Sane's issue.
Yes.
Yes, I said I will go to the CEO's office to see the files, whether I will see those documents.
How about the other reports?
Yes, the report of 2018 and 2019.
Yes.
Yes, the chairman is not in the country, so I have to go to his office to see whether, I can have a copy of those reports.
You are also to bring the first and second quarterly report of 2022.
The first and second quarterly report of 2020.
Do you have it?
Yes, but I already give that to the
investigators.
Yeah.
Very well. Let us see the documents that you have brought. When it comes to the lodgements, how many are they in a bundle form, or is it?
Yeah, no, they are in a spreadsheet form. Go through it and see.
So we will need you to count
But
and tell us how many sheets you have presented to us.
okay.
Lead counsel, just a second. Could the witness give us his date of birth?
Yes, please.
I was born on the 8th July 1981.
Thank you.
Okay.
Very much. Yeah, so those ones are the lodgement log.
Yes, these ones are the lodgement log.
From which year to which year?
Weekly. No, these ones is in Brikama Area Council weekly collection report from the 30th June to the 6th July. It's weekly.
It's weekly.
Yes, weekly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 52, 53, 48.
You have 48 weekly lodgement log.
Exactly.
And the first log is which year? What was the date of the first log?
Here, they are jungle up. They are not in sequence.
Yes, but I want to know from which year to which year. Is that possible?
No, all what I have here is 2022.
2022.
Exactly.
Where are the lodgement logs for the 2028, 2018, 2019, 2020, and 2023?
No, maybe 2020, 2021 to 2023. I told you that we migrated from our old building to the new one, and during that migrations, I was not coming to work. So this, in fact, I endeavor to have this thing. Yesterday, from here, I just rushed to the office,
So you have got 48?
Yes, 48.
For the year 2022?
2022, yes.
We applied to tender 48 lodgement log for the year 2022 into evidence as an exhibit. Whilst the commissioners are reviewing that bundle of evidence, can you just go through these ones and then you count them and advise us as to the dates?
Yes, these ones are the...
No, you just wait until they're done with the...
Okay.
Mr. Barry, these logs, are they complete? Because you just told us that they are weekly logs.
Yes.
So did they cover the 12 months period?
Yes, normally they were all there.
Normally they should cover the 12-month period.
12 months period, yes.
Yes, we will admit them and we will sort them out. If there are some missing, we will let you know so that you will bring the missing ones to complete the 2022 year.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you. The lodgement logs numbering 48 for the year 2022 are hereby admitted in evidence and marked as LGC/SB/BKAC/003.
As the commission places. Yes, what other exhibit or document do you have currently with you?
Yes, this one are the extractions of defaulters from that lodgement, those who don't come for submission weekly. So we extract them and submit it to the authorities. That's the CEO, the Director of Finance, and the Chairman weekly, those who don't come for submission.
How many copies do you have?
34.
34.
Yes.
And they are all for the period 2022.
Yes.
We apply to tender 34 copies of defaulters, being extraction from the lodgement log, the 48 copies that have been presented by the witness and admitted into evidence for the year 2022 in evidence as an exhibit.
The 34 defaulters extracted from the lodgement log of 2022 is hereby admitted in evidence and marked as LGC/SB/BKAC/004.
As the commission places. Document do you have with you?
No, that is the 2022-2023 system audit. The copy is with you.
Is this the one? Is that the document you are referring to?
Yes.
We apply to tender the system audit for the period 2022-2023 signed by the witness into evidence as an exhibit. Lockman lodge at defaulters.
The Brikama Area Council internal audit report covering the period 2022-2023, which is a system audit, is hereby admitted in evidence and marked as LGC/SB/BKAC/005.
As the commission places. Mr. Barry will give you a copy of, but is that all you have currently with you?
Yes.
And then the rest that you are asked to bring, you will find them and bring them. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes. Then we will give you a copy of, one copy of the lodgement log, and you run us through the columns in it.
Exactly.
And the defaulters one as well. We'll ask that the registrar give each of the commissioners one copy of each.
And yesterday, you asked me about how many collectors
Yes.
do we have.
Yes.
I think everything is embedded here. All
Okay.
the collectors.
How many? Lodgement.
76 collectors, revenue collectors.
Is this the confirmed total of number of collectors you have in Brikama?
Exactly.
76.
Yes, those who are collecting and making submission.
And making submission. How about those who are collecting and not making submissions?
You know, I
You would not know.
I would not know. I cannot.
Would you not have access to the establishment register to know?
Yes, I can have.
Yes. So
Establishment register.
I believe as the internal auditor, you must have the accurate data regarding how many collectors you have in the area council.
Yes. You know, at times, you know, collectors, they may fluctuate.
They may?
Fluctuate, like
Yes.
from one unit to another. Yeah, but despite the fact, you know, the numbers have to remain the same.
The same.
Yes. So here they are in units, like Lansings. For instance, you know, the first weekly lodgement, the first at the top is Lansing unit.
Yes. So now take us through the weekly lodgement logbook and explain to us how it works.
Yes. This weekly lodgement, you know, the first part is Lansing's unit.
Yes.
You have the name of the collectors,
Yes.
the date bracket they do the transaction, the collection,
Yes.
and the total number of transactions they've done,
Yes.
the amount of money they've collected during that period,
Yes.
and the percentage they've covered within their collection area.
Yes.
Yes, so we normally have this log from the IT units prior before the coming of, you know, the collectors for submission.
Yes.
So when they come, you know, they sign against their name the amount of money they've collected. So if at all they submitted less, we will just, you know, less that amount with the ones we have and show them the balance that they're supposed to repeat.
Yes.
Yes.
I see, for example, Alfuseni Koli.
Yes.
You have, of course, the period of the collection
Yes.
under the license unit.
Yes.
You have the total number of collections is 6. And you have the total value,
Yes.
$37,500.
Yes.
And I see METKPI. What does that mean?
MEPKETI.
Yeah, the next column after total value. Met KPI. Do you see that? You have 30.
Yes, let me, I'm not.
What column do you have after total value?
Yes, that's Met KPI.
What is that, please?
I think that's the number of the transactions they've made.
But you also have a column of total number.
Total number, yes.
That's fine. If you cannot recall now.
Yes, no, maybe this I can leave with the, you know, IT unit, you know.
IT unit.
Yes, you know,
Very well.
to know this abbreviation.
And then you have the percentage of the
amount collected.
Exactly.
And then they sign.
They sign it. And the bank
where they've made the lodgement to, they already also indicated bank.
And you have slip number. The last column will be slip number.
Numbers, exactly.
What would that be for?
Like the payment slips, they go to bank, you pay it, they give you the payment slip.
Yes.
Yes.
So if there is any balance outstanding,
Yes.
how do you record that?
We record like here. I don't know whether the ones you have any balance in it. Here you don't see there is a red pen where we normally record the balance.
The balance.
Yes, exactly.
Are there any questions from the commissioners regarding the allotment?
Yes. Mr. Barry, what is indicated on the lodgement that we both have, all the commissioners have different lodgements, just to follow your explanation. But I'm going to use mine to ask the question. The council has asked you, what is this MET KPI? And we see that there is a consistent figure of 30.
Yes.
But looking at this lodgement, is this not something that you will use to audit what has been generated and what has not been generated in order for you to retask the collector to double up his or her effort in collecting the tax?
No, unless we know the assessment value of the collector,
Yeah.
where the person is collecting,
Yes.
his or her jurisdiction.
Yes.
Okay, unfortunately in council we don't have that data, like assessment value of, for instance, in Sukuta, how many businesses should be, collected in Sukuta. We don't have that one, so we can't judge their performance. Their performance can be judged hadn't been those data are available.
Yes, but you recall that you have just told us that you have about 80-something collectors.
Yes.
And what we have here from this log is reflecting collector type, which is license mostly.
Yes.
License for properties. And what we see in this metrics, what appears most is license and property. And market monthly, ad hoc transactions, market daily, is very minimal compared to license and property.
Yes.
So now what I'm asking is, you did not answer my question. What I'm asking is, this log, don't you as auditor look at this log in order to make your assessment of the particular collector's activity?
To appraise the collector?
Yes.
Exactly, yes.
Yes, so my difficulty is, why didn't you understand what is MET KPI here?
This METKI, when this 5C was coming into play in the council,
Yes.
It was done unilaterally. What I mean, it was done unilaterally means not all the key players were involved. So in our audit, we were not trained, in fact, how to use these machines. So we heavily rely on the IT to have this, and so that we can cross-check the collectors.
But Mr. Barry, don't you think it was your duty to find out this issue for you to be in a position to properly assess the collector? Because if there is a metrics that is given to you,
exactly,
and you must do an assessment based on the metrics that is given to you, you must be able to appreciate the issues that you need to assess the collector for fair play.
Very well, very well.
Yes, I believe it was your duty to find out what this means,
yes,
and what impact does it have on the collector's performance,
yes,
or otherwise.
But I don't think it's have that great impact on the collector, because if you can see.
But the issue is that we cannot understand what it means, so
yes,
we cannot ascribe any meaning or understanding to this if we want to assess this document?
Yes, this.
Sorry, my colleague has a question.
Let me assist here. I think if you look at the column, it says MET.
Yes.
KPI.
Yes.
Meaning key performance indicators.
Indicators.
Whether they have met the key performance
Indicators. Okay.
I think that's. I'm just suggesting.
You are suggesting
that the MET is a word, and KPI is an abbreviation for key performance indicators.
Yes.
Where have they met their key performance indicators or not?
Okay.
I think that's.
Yes, I can make a further,
yes,
find out from the IT
and get back to us.
Yes, and get back
but
to you.
But I'm just assuming here, I could be wrong.
Yes.
That it means they have met the MET KPI is 30.
Yes.
And I don't know where are you the corresponding
30s and yes,
where you would check this to correspond to whether they have met it or not.
Yes.
Because this seems to be a standard 30 for all.
Yes, I will make a final.
And my other question, if the lead counsel will allow me, is that if you look at the back of the weekly collections report 4, I want to understand the matrix at the bottom. It says license, the type, license, total collection, total amounts, and percentage from total. Okay, for the document that I have is for the period 2020 to 26 October 2022. I have noticed that flat rates, it says 12% was collected, or from total, and the total amount of collections should be 812 with a total amount of 134,950.00. I just wanted to get a sense of where do you get these figures from, because I noticed the total corresponds is the same as the total under your first matrix. This is a summary. This is summary of the matrix.
Yes.
But the percentages I want to understand. Why are you saying this is a percentage? 52% was collected from the total collection.
I think here, the IT units will be in better positions because they are the custodians of this data.
No, but they are giving you this for auditing.
They are giving us this for auditing in order to compare the amount of the money.
That is what I wanted to do. What are you comparing it to? This summary. What are you comparing it to?
Yes, this is what I'm saying. Maybe this percentage, the IT unit is having a data that they are comparing this percentage to. But what we are, focusing on as audit is the amount of money they've collected and the amount of money they've banked.
Okay, please let them, if you can find out for us, please. Thank you.
Council, you may proceed. Sorry.
Are you ready? Yes. Yes. No, now, mine is just an assumption. Because when there are percentages, it's a follow-up to what Mr. Joen is saying. Then it must have been that the IT unit must have had a financial projection. And based on the financial projection, they could come up with a percentage of what they have and what they have collected, what is been collected.
Yes.
Is that not the case?
This was what I was saying. Maybe the IT unit is having a data that needs to be collected within each and every collector's jurisdiction. So they are making a comparison, what was collected from that data to come out with the percentage. This was what I'm saying. But I'm not that much sure, unless, you find out. Yes, exactly.
All right, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Again, who is the head of the IT unit?
Bakari Sedi.
Bakari Sedi.
Yes.
And has been there since when, do you know?
Yeah, he has been there since the inception of this, digital
2020.
20, yes, exactly.
Now, do you have a copy of the list of submission absentees for the audit?
No.
We will ask that you be given a copy. You also guide us through the recordings in this said exhibit. Do you have a copy?
Yes.
Yes. We see the about 4 columns. Can you tell us what is recorded in the?
Yes, the first column is the name of the collectors.
Yes.
Unit or department the collector is working on.
Yes.
Submission week and the amount of money.
And the amount.
Exactly.
And how about this red pen that is usually written at the last column? That's the amount?
Exactly. The time of preparing this report,
yes,
everything was, meaning there was no red pen.
Yes.
I mean, these are all defaulters.
Yes.
So, but during the interim, they will come for submissions. And when they come for submissions, that's where, they will just write submitted.
So when they come for submissions, you now make the necessary recordings?
Recording. And, okay, like in a quarterly, why
wouldn't you just have another column for that? Would it not be much more neater to have another column for that, as to if they eventually come for submission?
We say we mark submission, yes. That can be. So in our weekly, in our quarterly review,
yes,
we review this and tabulate it. The ones then don't come, you see some, there is empty, meaning they don't come. So these are the amounts we accumulate and give our quarterly reports.
Any quick questions regarding the list of submissions absentees for the purpose of the audit?
Yes. Mr. Barry, the absentees, the list of submission for absentees for audit, I have one copy here, which I will take as an example. There is this Ibrahima K. Jobate on the 4th of December to the 7th of December. There is an amount of 19,800, and there is red pen written submitted, and in the next column, which doesn't have any heading, has a balance, and at the edge there is date 21st of December 2022, right? I'll give it to you to check what I'm saying, because it's already admitted in evidence. Please show him this. Yes. Now, my question is, you have already extracted for that particular week the people that did not submit, and you have listed them. And you've indicated that when you calculated the total sum is $19,800. And subsequently, on the 21st of December 2022, you have indicated there is a column that says balance, but did not indicate anything. And then you said submitted. So can you enlighten us so that we can appreciate what is written there? No. Because my understanding, let me be very clear, my understanding is that this you have extracted from your log, from your lodgement log, right? That these are the outstanding balances that they did not submit and the periods thereto. right?
Yes.
So you have listed it out. You extracted this from the lodgements.
Exactly.
And now, I am now seeing on that extraction list additional date, and you have indicated in red, you as the auditor,
Yes.
that is submitted.
Yes. And
And there is no indicative figure on the balance.
yes.
So now my question is, what is the reconciliation trying to portray from that extraction list?
Yes. You know, at times they will come for submission,
Yes,
and the amount of money they're supposed to submit it,
yes,
they will not submit all.
yes.
So that's the balance. Normally, they put it and they put the balance forward so that they know that he come for submission, but he didn't submitted all the money. So where there is no balance, meaning he didn't come, the person don't come for submission at all. So this is what it entails. Like at times, you know, what they collected in the field and what they've banked is different. The amount of money they will be banked will be lesser than the amount they've collected.
Yes.
So that's why
So which means this is suppression of
revenue.
revenue.
Exactly.
So that is the extraction you have done on the log.
Oh, yes.
You understand? Now, is it correct, having realized that it is suppression of revenue, because you have seen what they have collected and what they have deposited does not tally,
Yes.
and you looked at the log and you extracted the balance.
Yes.
Why do you have to allow them all the time? Because looking at the dates there, it means they are giving all the time to pay the difference.
Yes.
Why is that the case?
Our role, Ma, is to make findings and recommendations.
Yes.
And these, you know, lodgements, you know, seats have been, you know, are passed to the authorities concerned, the CEO and the Director of Finance. I think, you know, those people should, you know, make sure that, you know, these people's, you know, either a disciplinary actions, you know, be leveled against them so that it can serve as deterrent for others not to follow suit, to be submitting all the monies they've paid. So we just make our findings and present it to the authority concerned.
How do you qualify this under audit terms?
Qualified what?
These activities that the collectors do, how do you capture it in audit terms? Is it
This is suppression.
suppression of
Revenue.
Of revenue?
Yes.
And did you capture this in your reports?
Exactly. That's the weekly, that is the quarterly reports.
No,
you know.
I said, did you capture this in your systemic report?
Exactly.
Internal audit
Exactly.
systemic report?
Yes.
Thank you.
It's captured in all the reports I've presented.
Okay. Council?
Yes, thank you very much, Madam Chairperson. Mr. Barry,
Yes.
may I respectfully ask that you provide us with your first and second quarterly report for 2022. The ones that we have, they are not original copies. So please make sure you help us with the copies that you have.
The copies I have,
Yes.
I'm having them here, soft one. Can I, after I print them?
Not the soft copy. We need the hard copy,
The hard
signed
copy.
one.
Okay, I will.
Signed one by tomorrow.
I will, inshallah.
Is that possible, sir?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Now we will go back to your statement of the, isn't 23rd of November 2023? That's your first statement on the second page, and probably this issue we are to discuss will be found on page 21 of the 2020 system audit,
Yes.
covering the period 1st January 2020 to December 31st, 2020.
Yes.
Now, you have mentioned in your statement, on the fourth paragraph, you have said that on the issue of unaccounted proceeds amounted to $24,000, it was observed by the Internal Audit Department that during 2020 audit exercise, the council generated a total amount of $60,000 from bid sales However, out of the amount, it was confirmed that $36,000 was paid to GPA and $24,000 was unaccounted for by council. Can you please explain that briefly?
Yes, on our review of the contracts committee meetings dated Tuesday, 10th November 2020, it was noted that an amount of $60,000 was made from the sales of bidding documents to bidders, in which $36,000 was paid to GPPA. A balance of $24,000 was unknown whether it was banked or not. The audit team asked for the deposit slips if the amount was banked but cannot have any tangible response from the management and the responsible parties. Okay, we come to our implications that the management should make sure that there is a proper and effective internal control with public funds. Allowing such an amount of funds not to be accounted for is going to cause a huge loss to the council financial management. It will lead to the mismanagement of public funds by individuals without being accounted for, which is a key weak internal control. If the management fail to produce any records of these transactions, it will be classified as unaccounted revenue, and the officer responsible should pay the money.
And you have already explained to us yesterday,
yes,
that they had responded. Of course, it's in the state in the report.
Yes,
that they have responded and they said that they used the balance.
Yes, the balance
for refreshment.
Yes, refreshments, and the bidding opening and evaluation, refund of printing cost for bidding documents and sitting allowance. But evidence of that was never presented to the audit for verification.
The other issue in the same audit report for 2020 is with respect to the sale of that has become area council absolute assets.
Yes.
It says that during our review of the contracts committee meeting minutes, it was mentioned in one of the meetings that the auction committee chairman, Mr. Ibrahim Sawane,
yes,
reported to the contracts committee that $1,229,600 was realized during the auction activity, in which an amount of $1,120,100 deposited into council's account and an outstanding balance of $103,500 was paid later, but with several consultations with the auction committee chairman for him to provide us with the deposit slips with said amounts incurred, but nothing was provided to the audit unit for verification up to the time of the writing this report. Please, can you elaborate more on this?
Yes. An amount of $1,229,600 cannot be accounted for the sales of BAC absolute assets.
Yes.
During our review on the contracts committee minutes, it was mentioned in one of the meetings that the auction committee chairman, Mr. Ibrahim Sawane, reported to the contracts committee that $1,229,600 was realized during the auction activities, in which an amount of $1,123,100 deposit into council's account and an outstanding balance of $103,500 was paid later, but with several consultations with the auction committee chairman for him to provide us with deposit slips of the said amount incurred, but nothing was provided to the audit unit for verifications up to the time of writing this report. The auction chairman says the outstanding balance was entrusted with Finance Manager 1, Mr. Lamin Suso. So the whole $1,229,600 is in limbo because the audit team cannot have any meaningful response from the said committee pertaining to the auction fund realized.
To start with, were you aware of this particular auction ever taking place?
Yes.
You were aware of it?
Yes.
What do you know about the auction? Were you aware of it informally or through formal means? Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I know. I was aware of it informally, that there is a auction going on.
Which year was it, 2020?
Yes, this was in 2020.
Go ahead, sir.
Yes. So the assets were disposed, and people comes. And
What were these assets? Were they vehicles?
Yes, some are vehicles. They were vehicles. Most of them are these, maybe scrap vehicles that are not roadworthy anymore. So, okay, the proceeds of these auctions, after, during our audit review, we went through the, minutes of the contracts committee, and we came across this, revelation from the auction committee chairman.
Yes.
But when we make a follow-up to know where these monies were lodged, unfortunately,
there are no traces of these monies, of these proceeds.
Exactly.
That is to say, it just, it exists on paper, but then you can't find it anywhere.
Exactly.
Now, this Mr. Ibrahim Sawane, is he a councillor?
No, she is the acting director of administration.
The acting director of administration. Is he still working for the area council?
Yes.
And then Lamin Suso, of course, was the finance manager at the time.
At the time, yes. The ex-director of finance, Basi Area Council.
Yes, of course. Yes. Everyone knows Lamin Suso. I can guarantee you that. Now, did you have any meeting with Lamin Suso?
No.
Why is that? Do you have any reason as to why you did not interview him?
No, because the time of writing this report, then he was promoted to director of
it was during this period that he was promoted.
After. So after this auction, at the time of writing this report,
yes,
finding, then found him at Basse as the director.
Now the management response on page 23 says that the outstanding balance of $103,500 was recovered through the courts following the default of the bidders. Were you provided with any evidence of that?
No.
But they did not respond to the $1,229,600 at all?
No.
Or was there any response that is not covered?
No, but in fact, their response, was not the answer of what was being raised.
Yes, it's very clear.
Yes, because their response was how this 103 million was secured.
Yes.
And our finding was, where are the lodgements of these monies?
Yes.
So it means,
and that they can't tell you?
Yes, that cannot be traced.
How about the CEO? Who was the CEO at the time?
Modi Jonga, yes.
And he also did not respond to the audit queries as well?
No.
Was he aware of this sale? Do you know?
Very well.
How about the chairman at the time? Do you know whether he was also aware of this particular sale?
Very well.
Now, any questions regarding this particular sale?
Mr. Barry.
Yes.
I understand your assertion that management did not respond to what you specifically asked for.
Yes.
That is, where was this money lodged?
Yes.
In looking from your statement,
yes,
it says here that $103,500 was handed over to Lamin Suso,
yes,
the then accounting officer,
yes,
and could not provide the audit with any proof of payment.
yes.
And here on your management's response,
yes,
it says the outstanding balance of $103,500 was recovered through the courts following the default of the bidder.
Yes.
Responsibility, Director of Finance.
Yes.
Why wasn't the Director of Finance react to this?
No, the lodgement, why we put the responsibility there, the lodgement of the money should have been the responsibility of the Director of Finance.
Yes, that's why I'm saying, yes, why didn't the Director of Finance react to this that you are saying,
yes,
that they have said it was handed over to Lamin Suso?
Yes.
Lamin Suso was then an accounting officer.
Yes.
But the accounting officer has a finance manager above him.
Exactly.
And the finance manager has above him the Director of Finance.
Yes.
You have claimed here that you cannot see the 103,500.
Yes.
And management is saying they recovered this 103,500 through the courts.
Yes.
Now, you are giving us additional information.
Yes.
That this 103,500 was given to Lamin Suso.
Yes.
I am saying,
yes,
it should not stop there. Why didn't the Director of Finance, who was the responsibility officer,
yes,
or the responsible officer,
yes,
for this 103,500 to come in and answer some of your concerns, which was raised in your audit,
yes,
and also in your statement up to today, you have not been given the opportunity to know where this 103,500 has gone through.
Yes.
And you stated in no uncertain terms that it's in limbo.
Yes.
Meaning it's somewhere in the skies.
Yes.
And we cannot follow the money.
Yes.
And you are tired of following the money.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you.
Very well.
Any other before I proceed? No. Thank you. That being said, we have the issue of also payment vouchers. How do you audit payment vouchers?
Payment vouchers, the transaction emanated from the office of the CEO.
Yes.
Where it will be either requisition.
Yes.
Whether from the procurement.
Yes.
Or from individual. When he approves it, it goes to the account for them to raise payment vouchers for that particular transaction.
Yes.
And when they are raised, normally they have to bring it to the audit for us to cross-check and make sure that we certify it, that all the necessary documents are attached.
Are met.
Are met, exactly. All the criteria are met.
Yes.
Then we will just give our blessing to the...
But is that done? Is that done usually at your time?
No.
So there are no pre-auditing,
yes,
for the most part of it?
Yes, at times, these payments will be effected, in fact, without the voucher passing to the internal audit.
Now, when you say at times, we want to understand whether that was the norm in Brikama area council, that for the most part, yes, or in most occasions, yes, they would not pass payment vouchers through your office, or is it that the practice was most times they pass payment vouchers through your office?
Yes.
Yes, to what?
What I mean is, at times, payment vouchers will be passed through my office.
Yes.
For pre-auditing.
Yes.
At times, payments will be effected, and this will be realized after...
And they will not pass to your office?
Yes, we will realize this when we are doing our quarterly review.
The post-auditing?
Yes, the post-auditing, exactly. There we will...
That I understand.
Yes.
But the law is, for every payment, it has to pass through your office.
Yes, that's it.
And there has to be a pre-auditing that as simple as that.
Yes, exactly.
Before the CEO, yes, or the finance that will authorize payment.
Exactly.
Now, was that common?
It was not that much common.
So, will it be fair to say payment vouchers will seldomly pass through your office?
Yes.
They hardly pass through your office?
Yes, at that time.
Now, you had made some findings regarding these payment vouchers. You understand?
Yes.
You had said on page 2023 that during our review of the payment vouchers, it was noticed that most of the payment vouchers were not having payment voucher serial numbers on them.
Yes.
What does that mean? What does that tell you as an auditor? I mean, it's one thing for it not to pass through your office, but it's also another thing for it not to have serial numbers.
Let Let me go to speech on page.
Page 23 and 24 of the report.
23, okay. Yes, payments without, serials number, you cannot ascertain whether that payments were genuine or not. Because, you have to use those serials to do your postings in your expenditure layers.
Yes.
So without those numbers, it will not, you cannot ascertain whether payments were genuine, and if there is a loss of payment voucher for you to trace it out, it will be difficult.
You have referred us to Appendix 2A. Can you please guide us through some of the payments that you are referring to? In Appendix 2A, I believe is page 39. Will I be correct to say that? Page 39 of your report for the period under review 2020. Or is it
on page 39?
39 is A.
Yes.
You have said 2A.
2A or
2A.
Appendix, yes.
Yeah, Appendix 2A.
Yes. We have a PV number here. No PV number. 1st of February 2020. Description bin payment of ASOBI for 5 OSAS for the launching of BAC 5C energy management system.
I don't understand. You guys bought ASOBI for the launching of 5C energy?
Yes.
For you to use the POS machines.
Yes.
Brikama Area Council, you bought ASOBI for that. You guys have misplaced priorities.
That's what the records indicate.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that in actual sense, payment was made for ASOBI.
Yes.
Just for the launching of the machines.
Yes.
Which another company is giving the contract 5C to come and assist the area council to generate revenue.
Yes.
Very well. But then there is no PV number.
No PV number
on the voucher. And the amount does not match with the receipt attached.
With the receipt attached, yes.
And the other one?
The other one is bin payment of fuel supply to BAC vehicle.
Yes.
Gambia National Petroleum Company. No PV number on the voucher. No signature of the Director of Finance, the receiving company.
Very well. So these are the samples that has gone all the way. In fact, there are so many payments that you have reference with respect to Appendix 2.
Yes.
On page 39, all the way to, is it page 47, 48, 49?
Yes.
Okay, let's proceed. Now, in your statement, the second to last paragraph, you have said there was the issue of unconfirmed banking value properties, revenue of $1,847,000 by Fansu Bojang. Who is Fansu Bojang, by the way?
Fansu is a value property collector.
So he had recorded an amount of $1,847,000 in his cash book.
Yes.
However, there were no attached of council GTR receipts from the principal cashier.
Yes.
Please explain to us.
Yes, I think this was when they were using the machine.
Yes.
Okay,
in 2020.
In 2020, he recorded all the transactions in his cash book, but there was no evidence of any bank slip that he make lodgement into the bank, and there is no evidence of the principal cashier's receipts to indicate that amount of money is being accounted for in our books of account.
And was he aware of this outstanding balance?
Yes.
Or let me say, monies that were not deposited or
Yeah.
not accounted for?
Yes, he was.
What is the management response to that? Do you know? Did they respond to this finding?
Yes, they still, I think it is going to be like the final quarter of 2020. They will regularize it.
The final quarter?
Yes.
Please speak into the microphone, please.
Yes, yes.
They said what?
Let me just go to their response, I see. Yes, final quarter. The observations will be investigated.
Which page is that?
Page 31.
Page 31.
Yes.
Yes. Where you have the value properties observation. Is that the one you're referring to?
Yes, value property observations, the recommendations. Yes, that's it.
Mr. Badi, we will need you to draw yourself closer to the microphone.
Okay,
yes.
okay.
But Fansu Bojan's question can be seen. Yes.
32.
I think you should be on page 30 under the because what you have been referred to, I think, is reference to the market unit.
Yes.
6.12.
Management will investigate the observation.
Management will investigate the observation and take appropriate action. Time frame is final quarter 2021.
That's correct. Mr. Badi.
Yes.
If you refer yourself to, or let me refer you to page 27, where the whole transaction started, where you have posted transactions without cashiers received by collectors.
Okay.
So here, I believe you were trying to explain cashiers writing or making postings in their cash book without being cleared by the cashier.
The principal cashier, yes.
Which means that there has to be a reconciliation. Is that not the case?
Exactly.
You have explained before that when they make collections and they write that in their cash book, they have to come and do the reconciliation with the cashier.
Yes.
And then the amount that they collect will, of course, have to be banked.
Banked. And the receipt
Withdrawn to that effect.
Exactly.
And so the cashier will give you a receipt.
Exactly.
From Brikama Area Council.
Area Council.
To see whether what you have.
Yes, after showing the cashier the payment slip.
Yes.
Yes, that's you makes this lodgement into the account.
And on page 27, you said that in your review of the market collector's cash book, you have found out that some market collectors posted some transactions in their cash book that are not bearing the main cashier's receipt attached to the transaction to ascertain if the particular transaction was banked or not. And there was an amount of $25,000, $25,880. But the issue of Fansu Bojang is on page 28. It started on page 28 and ended on page 30, as directed by the commissioner.
Yes.
Joiner. That on the 18th of January 2021.
Yes.
Mr. Fansu Bojang collected $71,000.
Yes.
And the issue date is between the 22nd of February 2020.
Yes.
And to the 2nd of March 2020.
Yes.
I beg your pardon, the audit date was the 18th of January 2021. Is that not the case?
Yes.
So he was audited in 2021.
Yes.
But these transactions are between February 2020 to March 2020.
Yes.
So the amount of $71,000 was never taken or was never brought forward.
Yes.
To the cashier.
Yes.
Is that not the case?
Yes. And he was never appearing before the internal audit.
Yes.
For yes. To cross check.
And again, in the same period, January 2021, you audited Mr. Fansu Bojang.
Yes.
And you realized that in 2020, March, in the month of March, he collected $70,400.
Yes.
And never deposited this money to the bank.
Yes.
Again, the same audit found out that Mr. Bojang as well collected in March an amount of $69,000.
Yes.
It was posted in the cash book, but there was no receipt to that effect to show that it was taken to the bank.
Yes, there was no evidence.
So that is the list that goes on. I'm just taking a sample because it happens in the period 2020.
Yes.
From February all the way to December 2020.
Yes.
Is that not the case?
Yes.
You have an amount of $93,000 is collected between June, is it June? Between May to June 2020.
Yes.
He collected $93,000.
Yes.
But no evidence of it being deposited.
Yes.
And the total amount, that is if you turn to page 29,
yes,
is what has accumulated to $1,847,000.
Yes.
Between February 2020 to December 2020.
Exactly.
But this is a very serious issue.
Exactly.
Mr. Barry.
Yes.
And the management response, as pointed out by Honorable Commissioner Joyner, is on page 30, is that management will investigate the observation and take appropriate action. Was that done?
No, still now the case is there, because I one time, have a word with Fansu.
You at one time what?
I mean, I engaged Fansu about this issue.
Yes.
And what he told me was, he was depositing at the bank, though was not coming to the internal audit.
Yes.
And also was not appearing before the principal cashier.
Yes.
But he told me that he was having the payment slip for this transaction. And when I asked where are those payment slips, he told me that he gave it to the then Director of Finance, Mr. Alaji Jain, who further gave it to his subordinate, Mr. Yaya Ba, for him to photocopy. Then he said from there he didn't see those slips.
Now, but these are all verbal
exactly, communications, yes.
So what has the council done about this particular finding?
Nothing. They said the time frame on the report, they said final quarter of 2021 it will be resolved, but yet still
it is not resolved.
It is not resolved, yes.
What is so Fansu Bojang is a revenue collector?
Yes.
And he's still there?
Yes.
Yes. Any questions regarding this finding?
Yes. Now, Mr. Barry, this is indicative of the fact that it's just one of the collectors that you have extracted the revenues that he did not bank with the council's bank.
Yes.
So do you do the reconciliation for all the 84 collectors?
Exactly. Because why Fansu was picked up, he was not appearing before the audit.
Okay.
To do the audit. And after, when we demanded his cash book, we realized that all the transactions were intact. He posted them into his correspondent cash book, but there was no evidence of any lodgement into our account, and there was no receipt from the principal cashier.
Thank you.
Now, we have another issue of revenue suppression on page 30 of the 2020 system audit. That is the name of the collectors. Well, the amount is $70,000. You have said that during the review process, the deposit slips tendered by the market unit, we noted that some amounts of funds were not being deposited at the bank. An interview with the market master, Yankuba Kujabi,
yes,
he was asked why the difference between the amounts collected and amounts banked. He said this sometimes happens when they receive orders from the management to bring some funds when there is an emergency expenditure that needs to be done. Now, we have seen Yankuba Kujabi, the reference number 9281574 The record shows that there was an amount of 1,760 collected, and he deposited $40,706,
Yes.
and the difference is $11,000.
Yes.
So altogether, the difference is $70,000.
Yes.
Does he work in a team? Is he the head of the team at the market? How do they conduct themselves? What is the arrangement with respect to the market collectors in Brikama?
Yes. At this time, when all the collectors in the market collect their revenue,
Yes.
they give it to their market master to go and bank on their behalf.
Why is that?
Yes, that.
Is it not the case that every collector must go and deposit?
Yes, right now they are doing that because after this incident, that's what I recommended.
Okay.
And that was, I think, was a management decision at that time.
Please proceed.
So he was, when he was confronted about this issue,
Yes.
he told the audit team that at times, the director of finance will call him to tell him to bring some funds because there are certain emergency expenditures that.
Which of the director of finance and which period?
This Mr. Alaji Jeng.
Alaji Jeng.
Yes.
Please proceed. Was Mr. Jeng confronted with this finding?
Yes, he was confronted with the finding, and
Yes.
he said, he will produce vouchers, payment vouchers that's in respect of those payments. But those payment vouchers were never presented to us.
Now, the management response on page 31 says that the observation will be investigated and appropriate action
Will be
to be taken to avoid repeat or repetition,
Yes.
As the case may be.
Yes.
But then there is no action that was taken, as far as you're concerned.
No, not to my knowledge.
Now, on the same page 31, we said that during the review of valued properties, collectors' cash book against their weekly submission to council's account, we came across some transactions that were collected as indicated in the system, but were not posted in the cash book of collectors. This seems to be like the norm in Brikama area council.
Especially when they were using the machine.
Especially?
When the time they were using the machine.
But it was supposed to be much more easier using the machine.
Yes.
Is that not the case?
Yes.
I mean, the machine should have really helped to generate more
revenue, yes.
But it seems to have a very negative result in Brikama.
No, it's exposed the suppression.
Yes.
That's also, yes, it should have been maximizing the revenue.
Yes.
Yes, and indeed it has. But, it shows how the revenues were being suppressed by various collectors.
Which probably would have been difficult to
Yes,
know.
in fact, if at all there is no digital, it would have been very difficult to detect this.
So you recommend the POS machines?
Definitely.
Good. Now, let's see Appendix 3 regarding the suppression that you are referring to.
Appendix is on which page?
I am trying to find out. There are so many pages.
Yes.
So many pages.
Page 49.
49. Yes, Mr. Badi, page 49. Are you there with us? Yes, 49.
Sorry, 1 minute.
Where you have one Andrew Mendy. Let me start with the Manjago man.
It's a 49.
Yes, 49, Appendix 3.
Yes.
The issue we are discussing now is the same issue regarding revenue suppression.
Yes.
Is that not the case?
Yes.
So they will collect. It will be indicated in the cash book, but there will be no evidence of it being deposited.
Exactly.
The first name is Mr. Andrew Mendy.
Yes.
The amount is $44,000.
Yes.
And the amount is not posted in the cash book.
Yes.
No, Andrew Mendy, I beg your pardon, is the customer's name.
Is the customer. This is Aliu Sonko. The
Yes.
collector's name is Aliu Sonko.
Aliu Sonko is the collector.
Yes.
And Andrew Mendy is
the customer.
customer.
Yes.
And the amount is $4,000.
$4,000. So meaning, anytime you see it validated,
Yes?
means that transaction is being collected.
Okay.
Yes. And the name of the customer will be highlighted, will be there.
And this what will appear on the screen,
In the dashboard, exactly.
the dashboard.
Exactly.
Because when you use the machine, then it will show you
Yes.
the person that collected the amount,
Yes.
the name of the customer,
The customer,
the
exactly.
invoice number,
Yes.
the amount, and also the comment validated would indicate it was actually collected
Yes.
on the screen.
On the screen, yes.
The second will be one Aliu Sonko, $2,000, another Aliu Sonko. You also have, who is Aliu Sonko?
Aliu Sonko is a value property collector.
Does he frequently appear?
Before the
audit?
Yes, he frequently appear before the audit. But like I said yesterday, the amount they don't submit, they will just deliberately left it out. They will not post it in their cash book.
Cash book.
Yes.
Do they not know that it will definitely reflect on the screen?
They knows about it, definitely.
Let's turn.
So in total for Aliu Sonko, the collector, covering the period 12 December 30th, 2020 to the 26th of February 2020, his total suppression of revenue was 224,000.
Yes.
Was this collected from him?
Pardon?
Was this amount collected from Aliu Sonko?
Not to my knowledge.
And up to the time that you did the final draft of this system audit,
Yes.
there was no
no
indication from administration that they have collected this money.
No.
Now, you have said to the commission that he appears most often before the audit.
Yes.
If you look at these transactions for 2020, there is a particular pattern in this. So, did you at any point write to management to highlight so that it would have prevented the amount accumulating to this, since there was a POS being used?
Yes.
Because it will give you an indicative figure.
Yes.
Because you have a corresponding baseline to compare what he has collected and what he has suppressed.
Yes.
So my question is, why did the intervention not come earlier
Yes.
than waiting for the time you will do
the audit.
this system audit, which is a quarterly system audit?
Yes.
Since you are doing this weekly and he's appearing weekly and you do your extractions weekly.
Yes, I don't know what's the reason, but all the stakeholders are on top of issues. As I said, these lodgements, any amount they don't submit will be indicated. So I think, it's weak internal control, that because every week the amount of money each collector suppress.
No, Mr. Barry, I don't think I agree. It's a weak internal control.
Yes.
It can only explain that these monies are being shared between the collector and senior officers. Is that not the situation?
No, I cannot tell.
You cannot tell.
Yes.
Because if these collectors are appearing before you weekly, and you are submitting a report to the management to say that they are suppressing revenue weekly, and nothing is being done, would that be as a result of weak internal control?
Yes.
Because they are aware and
yes,
they see.
Is this what I'm saying? That it's a weak internal control, but I cannot ascertain that whether that money is being, socialized between themselves, because I don't have any evidence of that.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes, but it only raises reasonable suspicion.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, if you do not take corrective measures.
Yes.
Is that not the case?
Yes.
I mean, it all boils down to the responsibility of a manager.
Yes.
With respect to your subordinates. If you do not take actions, corrective actions, if you are aware,
yes.
you understand?
Yes.
So it's more or less like the responsibility you have. So it's either you have really acquiesced to what they are doing, or you are part of it.
Yes.
So any reasonable person will have the reasonable conclusion that the chairperson is having. Correct?
Yes, yeah.
Is that not the case, sir?
That's it.
Yes.
May I just intervene here? I just wanted to get this point clear. You say the column that says validated. It means that
that transaction is collected.
Was collected, physical collection.
Yes, cash was collected.
And you are saying in your comments, it says it's not posted in the cash book.
Yes.
So you know this because it's validated from the machine.
Exactly.
So it means, like Aliu must have collected, let's say 2,000 from me. It's validated by the machine. But when you review his cash book, this amount is not stated in the cash book.
Exactly.
So it means he's either holding the 2,000
exactly
and not surrendering it to the BAC,
to the accounts, yes,
or did not pay it into any bank account.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you.
Very well.
Now let me just clarify this issue again. When you say there were weak internal controls, my colleague has just asked you to clarify, which you have clarified, very clear. Now you have the extraction, you have the log, the lodgement log, which is a check and balance. You have the extraction sheet, which is also another check and balance, and you have the POS that gives you automatic data to indicate that physical cash was received.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
And there is no evidence that it has gone to the bank.
Yes.
So if you now tell me that there were lapses in the checks and balances, I have a difficulty in understanding that and appreciating it. Because already the mechanism that you have in place gives you, you understand, all the information you need.
Yes.
So it's not like you have difficulty in ascertaining whether, for example, Bakari Drame or Aliu Sonko is doing the right thing or not.
Yes, all those mechanisms are in place.
Yes.
But mechanisms can be in place, but the reinforcement, this is what I mean, there is a weak internal control, because these collectors are working under their line managers. And if the director of finance should have instructed the line managers to make sure that each and every boot collected by each collectors should be banked duly and accordingly on a weekly basis, I don't think some of these things would come out.
You are saying weekly basis. That is not what the law is saying. The law is saying that when you collect revenue, you go and bank.
Yes,
And where you cannot bank because maybe the time the banks have closed, you can do so the next day, the following day. Yes. And that is why the Department of Finance is provided with a safe. Yes. So that when you come and you are late to go to the bank by 4 o'clock, you can go and see the cashier who will receive your money give you a document indicating that you have deposited the money, and first thing in the morning before you proceed on to your next assignment, you deposit the money to the bank. Is that not what is supposed to be the situation?
Yes, but the submission dates of BAC, this was a management decision that they're supposed to be making their submission every Thursday.
But that management decision, is it in line with
it is not.
Audit rules?
It is not.
You understand?
It is not.
And the financial, what is contained in the financial manual?
Yes.
So management's decision cannot supersede
definitely.
what the audit rules say and what the financial manual says.
Yes. It is inconsistent with those provisions.
So it is also part of your responsibility to indicate that those decisions are contrary to
the regulations.
Yes.
That is governing. Okay.
So you should have highlighted that.
Noted.
Thank you. Council, you may proceed.
Yes. What is a ticket consignment? Ticket consignment on page 32. You have said that some collectors would collect a certain amount, but they would not present the consignment for the purpose of auditing.
Yes, these are the consignments means they give them in bundles.
Yes.
Tickets, especially market tickets.
That is for the POS machines you are referring to.
No. This was when they were using the GTRs.
But it's in 2020.
Yes, some part of 2020, not at the starting of 2020, we start using PO.
When exactly did the machines?
Yes.
When were they introduced?
Yes, this was around at the mid of 2020.
Around June.
Yes, around that. Yes. But the early part of 2020, we are using the GTR.
Okay, so these consignments, they mean?
Yes, they means the GTR, and they use them in bundles, like 5 or 10 to each collectors, and they will sign against their name. Yes, that's what we're referring to as the consignment.
So where you have more than one GTR book?
Yes.
It's a consignment.
It's consignment, yes.
So you have said that in your review, you have realized that there are some transactions which were posted in their cash book but did not pass for pre-auditing. It was not presented for pre-auditing. And some are posted in their cash book. But the ticket consignments are not seen by the internal audit during the course of the audit review.
Yes.
Please explain a little bit further.
Yes, these are you having the original and the duplicate.
Yes.
In that consignment.
Yes.
So they issue the original and retain the duplicate for audit purpose.
Yes.
Okay, in this case, these tickets were never presented to the audit for pre-auditing. One, and the exhausted GTR were also never presented to the audit. So there is that high tendency of using that duplicate also to generate revenue.
So there's also the chance of reissuing
the
duplicates to someone else.
Yes, exactly.
Now, what do they do with the exhausted GTR books?
The exhausted GTR book, they should surrender it to the office. After,
to whom do they surrender these books to?
To
Director of Finance?
Yes, the Director of Finance, but there is a delegated, person, who is responsible to be in custody of these, exhausted GTRs. Yes.
Now, do they sign off when they are deposited or they are returning this exhausted
GTR books? Yes, anytime they are taking the book, they sign in the CRPR, and anytime they are returning those, they're supposed to sign against their name.
Now, management said that they would verify on page 33, verify and take